Alright, let's go ahead and finish off this tower, and we're going to start with finishing the roof piece of the window. So let's go and grab the polygon mode of the roof, and we're just going to press W and hold Control and Shift and drag out, or drag down I should say, this roof to the wood piece. Now we're going to clone to a new object. Maybe I can, I don't know, call this pane roof. There we go. So now I'm going to turn off polygon mode, and my roof is still selected. You can see the blue line. So I'm going to select this roof here. And you know, I don't need everything on this roof, so what I'm going to do is come up here to Swift Loop. No, it's not going to let me be able to do that. So let's grab edge mode here. I'm just going to drag across. And if it's hard for you to see, you can kind of do an isolate. That works too. We're going to do connect settings. And then I'm going to do the slide settings and drag. Ooh, or not. Oh yeah, that's right, because we can edit this anyway. So then I'm just going to check the box where it's at. And I'm going to go to vertice mode, select this top vertice, F4 here. You can then press delete. And we don't need that area, we just need this. And then here what we can do is we're going to have to scroll to edit geometry. So under this Edit Geometry tab, we have Preserve UVs. So that will make sure that we don't mess up our UVs, and I can move this around a little bit. So I can select these 2 points, Control click, I can press R, and on the X I can scale this in, and it doesn't mess up my texture or stretch it. So I'm going to turn off Isolate Selection, Alt Q, or the button here, and this kind of gives me a good idea of where my roof is. So I like to have a little bit of slant there, so you can see my roof is a little bit slanted. The one thing that we want to do is move everything over, so I'm going to go to edge mode, select this edge, press W, and I'm just going to slide it on over. Let's do maybe just poking out a little bit here. Now if we wanted to do custom pieces or custom parts of this, we'd have to use the cut tool and kind of cut out exactly what we wanted. And that's something we could do. So the next thing is, let's go ahead and grab this front edge, and I'm just going to move it out. I think I'm going to move it just to we can see the bottom pieces of the woods slots here. And I think that's good. And we're going to do something very similar. We're going to select this bottom piece here and go into Edit Poly, and we're going to go into vertice mode, and this is where you see the other side. I only have one side selected, right? You can see I can only select this one. You can see it clear in polygon. I can't select the other. It's just this one side. But see, if I move it, you can see it updates in the other side. Alright, so we're going to go to vertice mode, make sure Preserve UVs is on, and you'll see on the other side is going to update. So I'm going to pull this one up to roof here, and I'm going to pull this one up. Maybe just a tad bit lower. There we go. Now, a texture did kind of go a little wonky here, but I don't know why. But it looks all right. We could go in and UV it and press quick peel, and it would be fine. But that's good for now. So now what we need to do is kind of flush this out a little bit. So let's grab our roof first here. All right, so let's go ahead and compress S a couple times, or T for taper, and then go up above that, and then there's shell. And so for this, we don't want an outer amount. We'll set that to 0, but we do want the inner amount. We can do 1. That'll give us a little bit of an edge around here. And we could go in the UVs and mess with that as well to kind of fix it up. But that's one quick way here to knock that out and get some texture in it. And I'm going to go ahead and go to Hierarchy, Effect, Pivot, and Center. Turn that off, and then I can move this back down a little bit, just so I don't have to hide as much. So we go to this one. Whoops. So we're going to select the wood side here, vertice mode. And I'm going to go ahead and bring this forward a little bit. That seems good. I'll get our top one here. Kind of move it down so it's not. There we go. And then we could dress this up multiple ways. So we're just going to click Poly, Edit Poly, click off. We can move these boards around or rotate them to kind of line them up. So for instance, I may want to do a copy of this one. We could rotate this. And put it there. Oops. Could also put one there. So a few different things. We could also do a diagonal slant too. We're going to want to take these two and hold shift and bring them over. And I can just do instances in case I need to change them. And there we go. So now we get a little bit more detail. Whoops. And I forgot about the bottom piece here. So we can just go ahead and grab this, press W and hold shift, drag this out, and rotate 90 degrees. And you can use any of your viewports to do this. I'm just comfortable enough in perspective. So here, what I'm going to have to do is, this is the same as the other piece, so I want to make it unique. I don't want it to be an instance, so I'll do make unique. And we'll just convert this to an editable poly. And I'm going to leave preserve UVs off because the texture is already squashed here. So I'm just going to bring this over, grab this one and bring it over. And then this is where we get into, let's go ahead and grab this polygon and bring this up into the board. There we go. So this kind of needs to line up with the window so it doesn't look so terrible. Although we may not see it, but we can throw unwrap on there. And I'm simply going to do a quick peel first and get our texture. It looks like we need to go smaller, so I can hold Control. Let's see. Boards need to be a little bit bigger, so so I need to make it smaller. So then I can just move this over if I need to get the lines. So it doesn't have to be exact, right? We're just kind of looking to see there's a line, there's a line. That's pretty close. So you can see it mine about where it's at to get it lined up. And we're good to go. Let's go ahead and right click. Oops. Right click, collapse to, hold yes. Alright, so now we've got that window done. And we've got the roof for it done. We got a little thickness to it. The UVs are a little bit wonky here. So we can just go ahead and put our UV right on top. Now the top and bottom polygons are fine. So what we need to do is be able to break out the edges. And so to do that, we would select these edges here. We can do our ring, and we'll convert edges to seams. And what I also want to do these 4 bottom edges as well. So we can select them all and convert edge, or you could also select the very bottom polygon and just quick peel it. And that's going to separate it. And you can see it's still going to look like the roof. The only problem is it's quite a bit bigger. So let's shrink this back down. I could go ahead and rotate it. So that's the inside of the roof. And then the outside here. Dun, dun, dun. So this one I'm going to move off to the side for a second. And these ones here, go ahead and, let's do reset peel. Aha! There we go. So that's a lot of roof tiles, right? We gotta scale it back down, so we can use freeform or the scale, and just use this one as a size reference. All I'm doing is the top and the bottom. There we go. And because of the way this one's facing, let's see, these are the top edges. You can see they're up here. So we need to take our whole shape here and we're going to just rotate it. There we go. Then what I like to do is I'll just line up this bottom line with the tiles right about there. Then you get like the wood planks coming down and it looks pretty nice. Alright, so we can go ahead and close that out. Let's right click, collapse to, hold yes. And let's make sure we convert that back to an editable poly. And it's still good to go. Alright, to finish off the tower, right, we're going to take this door here, press W, hold shift and drag out a copy. And we can Just going ahead and move it here. I'm going to grab my place tool and just kind of place it. Place tool is up here on the toolbar. And then once you do that, you'll have to press W and pull it out. And I'm just going to put this a little bit above the concrete. And we do want to get it pretty close. So this is the right view. So we would have to come in here and go to our right view. And then we can see how close it is. So I'll put it pretty close. P for perspective. And there we have it. Right, to do this door, we're going to need some of these boards. So I'll take 2 of these and hold shift and drag down. We'll just do copies. There we go. And then I can take one of these and press E. And on the green, access, hold shift and drag. Rotate till it's 90 degrees. And we'll just do a copy is fine. Press W. And we'll grab our X and our Z, this yellow box right here, and drag it up to the top. Maybe this one I'm going to bring out just a little bit more so it's not glitching. And we can go ahead and scale this in, and you just want a little bit poking out on this side and a little bit poking out on that side. And then it looks pretty good. We kind of have a doorway. And the same way that we did with the door would be the same thing we would do with the window. So if I wanted to add a window, I could just grab the place tool, place it on here, press W, pull it out, duplicate some of the boards and put some boards around it, and we've got a window. So same thing for this roof here. For this roof, we don't necessarily need to do a shell modifier. This would just be a mixture of duplicating the boards and adding them in here. So I could grab one of these here and hold shift, drag out a copy. I'm going to go into my front view, maybe F4. Yeah, there we go. And I probably put one here. Hold shift and another one here, and another one here. And these would be my supports. So I'd control click each of them. And let's scale them in. I wouldn't scale them in too much because we don't have the supports on the outside. So I'm going to grab my trim board over here and hold shift and drag out a copy. And this is what we would use for the trim edges. So I'd end up using it on the bottom inside here. hold shift, do a copy. So in this case, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees this way and also on this way. So we'll go to our front view. Not sure why it's doing that, but with the rotate, I'm going to do effect pivot center to object, turn that off. And we'll go ahead and rotate this to kind of line up with the roof. We'll do R for scale, change our gizmo to local so we can scale it. And I'm going to do about right there. And I'm going to hold shift and rotate again. Right, copy, click OK, press W, and let's rotate it one more. There we go. So now you can see where the boards are, so maybe this one I'll bring down just a little bit. This one here, we'll bring maybe up a little bit, this one up a little bit. We'll hit P for perspective. Woo! They're right in the middle. So we'll take these two, drag them to the front. So here we can go T for top view. We hit Z too, and that'll zoom. So if I'm way out, and just hit Z. And kind of wireframe it so we can see the middle edge here. And we'll hold shift and drag it to the other side, copy, hit F3, kind of center it so that line goes right through it. Press P for perspective, and now you see we're starting to get our roof. So this board here is to just hide this edge of that. And so I'm going to scale this in so the board itself is kind of hidden. You can go to top view, Z, and you can see we just want it inside the two pieces. And that's just to hide the seam of the board. And you can see the issue, this is going through the roof, so let's go ahead and move that down. That means this one we got to move down too. So you can see on this side you would see the roof. So I'm going to go ahead and shift drag this over. There we go. And if our roof didn't match up at the top, we could also use a trim board to kind of hide the roof right there as well. That would work. And now we have a structure. I'd simply take this board and duplicate it, and I could start building a frame for this tower, or could be a variety of things, but just to get something done here, to have something built for that, a little wood tower, or maybe a hut, or maybe this could be a stable or a barn.